Iñaki Urdangarin and his secrets. The former Duke of Palma made a fortune from what he knew about Letizia and Felipe VI. Madrid, an article that made Spain go crazy. They say, information is power. But for Iñaki Urdangarin, the saying has never been more true, and it goes even further: information is money. Not thousands of euros, but millions. And according to sources close to the royal family, the former Duke of Palma is living a life of luxury, not because of his fame, but because of the shocking secrets he secretly keeps. From a royal, to a know-it-all. Iñaki Urdangarin was once the epitome of a role model, an Olympic handball medalist, husband to Princess Cristina, father of 4 well-behaved children. But when his name became associated with the financial scandal Caso News, everything changed. He fell from grace, was sentenced to prison, and became a public pariah. Yet during his years with the royal family, especially during his time close to the heart of power at the Zarzuela Palace, Iñaki did more than observe. He learned, he listened, and he memorized. According to investigative journalists close to Madrid's inner circle, Iñaki knew what few others heard. The conversations behind closed doors, the conflicts between Letizia and members of the Bourbon family, the marital crises that Felipe VI had confided in no one, except Iñaki himself. Their relationship, once considered a close brother-in-law, is now having consequences no one could have imagined. After the divorce is a silence contract. In January 2022, Iñaki Urdangarin and Princess Cristina officially divorced, ending nearly 3 decades of marriage. But the surprise was not the decision to split, but what happened next. No one understood how someone like Iñaki, with a prison sentence, a broken reputation, no clear career, could live comfortably in luxurious resorts in Biarritz, travel Europe as a wealthy businessman and never worry about finances. But those in the know understood. He was paid a lot of money to keep quiet. The source of that money? According to a former royal aide, the account of King Juan Carlos I, the exiled king living in the United Arab Emirates, was where the allowances for Iñaki were distributed. Some underground reports suggest that he could receive up to 1.5 million euros a year in exchange for absolute silence about the secrets related to Letizia, Felipe, and even Leonor. Letizia and the things that no one dares to say. Letizia Ortiz Rocasolano, the intelligent, beautiful journalist, the first woman without noble lineage to become Queen of Spain, is a divisive figure in the royal family. From the moment she entered the Zarzuela Palace, she made many people uncomfortable. And Iñaki is one of the few people who, according to some sources, witnessed her cold anger. He was present during the heated arguments between Letizia and Sofia, her mother-in-law. He had also heard Felipe complain about the distance in their marriage, about Letizia's strict control over the family's public image, and even the education of their 2 daughters, Leonor and Sofia. Some even believe that Iñaki has in his possession recordings or notes, carefully kept in a safe or entrusted to someone close to him, that could shake the monarchy if made public. Felipe VI and the fear of betrayal. Rumors about a black diary that Iñaki Urdangarin always carries with him, as a life insurance, are not new. But since he was released from prison and began his golden bachelor life, these rumors have become more frequent. It is said that Felipe VI himself had to meet Iñaki privately at a secret location in Switzerland in late 2023, to agree on one condition: he would not reveal anything that could affect the image of Princess Leonor, the future queen. And in exchange for his silence, Iñaki was rewarded with business investments under other people's names, travel benefits, and luxury vacations that no one publicly claimed. Can a man overthrow an entire regime? Nowadays, when people mention Iñaki Urdangarin, few people remember his glorious pitches on the court. They think of a calm, somewhat mysterious man, always smiling slightly and never talking much to the press. But it was that silence that made him the most dangerous figure the Spanish royal family has ever faced. He knows what happened in the dark nights of Zarzuela. He knows why Letizia once disappeared for 3 days without anyone noticing. He knows who ordered the destruction of the documents that former King Juan Carlos left behind after a secret meeting. And the scary thing is, he could make everything public, at any time. An uncertain future, and hidden threats? The thing is, although things may have calmed down on the surface, inside the ancient stone walls of Zarzuela, no one is really sleeping. The name Iñaki Urdangarin is no longer a source of shame for a financial scandal, but a trigger that no one dares to touch. It is rumored that, in a closed meeting with close advisors in early 2024, Felipe VI instructed that all channels of communication with Iñaki must be kept open, at any cost. That is to say, any refusal, any tightening of the budget, any coldness, could make the man change his attitude. And as one former bodyguard once said, Iñaki does not threaten anyone. He only needs to smile, and people know what to do. Letizia, the one who never forgets. One thing is certain. Queen Letizia is not comfortable knowing that someone like Iñaki Urdangarin, once part of the family, who dined together, who held her daughter in her arms, is now living outside her control. She, according to many sources, urged her husband to completely cut off contact with Iñaki after the divorce from Cristina. But Felipe VI, who still has strong family feelings, could not do that. Especially when he knew that Iñaki held sensitive information about his own marriage. A story once told by a former royal aide is chilling. Once, Letizia held a cup of tea, stared out into the garden and said, "I would rather confront the public than let someone like him open his mouth." She did not shout, but that look could freeze the air in the room. Cristina, the woman in the middle. Of all the characters in this story, Princess Cristina is perhaps the most pitiful. After the divorce, she spent most of her time in Switzerland, occasionally returning to Spain to visit her family and children. But she was also caught between two worlds. On one side was her biological family, on the other was the man with whom she had shared 25 years of her life. At times, Cristina tried to act as a bridge, and there were even rumors that she was the one who arranged secret meetings between Felipe and Iñaki, so that the two could settle their secret terms without the need for official intervention from the royal family. But no matter how hard she tried, Letizia's coldness remained an insurmountable wall. A preset explosion? The question is, how long will Iñaki keep quiet? Will there come a day when, out of frustration or because of cutting off aid, he decides to let a trusted journalist stumble upon a secret file? An old recording? A handwritten letter signed by Felipe? A source close to the investigative press said, several major French and German media outlets have approached Iñaki several times in the past few years, offering him exclusive contracts worth millions of euros to tell the true story. And so far, he has refused. But how long will it take for that to change? Summary: a restless king, an unbelieving queen, and a silent man. It can be said that Iñaki Urdangarin has come a long way, from sports hero, royal stalwart, to convicted felon and now, a figure who could change the history of the Spanish monarchy with just one statement. He does not need power, because he has something beyond power: secrecy. And as history has shown through the ages, it is never the sword that brings down a throne, but the truth revealed at the right time. Time will tell. Will Iñaki Urdangarin continue to play the role of keeper of the darkness, or will he become the most dangerous whistleblower the Spanish royal family has ever known?